More of those faculty members who are huddled and hiding and sort of staying in place inside classrooms and closets as they've been instructed to do. Word has been filtering into those small spaces, and so they're beginning to get some information, but they're very anxious for someone to come and get them.
Well, Rick, let me pick up on something that you learned from the message that you got from the student. And she told you that she thought this was a fire drill, right? Well, now we're CBS this morning is confirming that the father of the student at the school says the shooter was allegedly wearing a black vest with a red shirt, and supposedly he pulled the fire alarm. He pulled the fire alarm and planned it, that this was a planned shooting and that it was the shooter who pulled the fire alarm. This is according to CBS this morning and their sources. And this calls attention to the fact that this is a national story now. This is a national story that has the attention of President Trump, has the attention of Florida Governor Rick Scott. He is on his way to Parkland. This is a national story. South Florida right now in the eyes of the nation right now as being the scene of the latest school shooting. We do not know how many victims, but this is multiple victims involved. Well, it wasn't too long ago, Elliot, that South Florida was in the national spotlight for another shooting, that one at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. So once again, mass shooting in Broward County, and this time it's at a school, not an airport, but at a school as we look at more law enforcement. Joan Murray is a reporter, correspondent covering Broward County. She is there at the scene right now. Joan, can you hear us? What are you able to tell us, Joan?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
So we are behind the school, and this is the area basically where a lot of the students were evacuating to. There's a PSO, Coconut Creek, and even some police officers from as far away as Hallandale Beach. We've seen students coming out crying, parents here anxious, looking for their children. A very chaotic scene, very sad scene in this area. Now, I can tell you what the students are telling me at this point. The ones that they talked to. So, a little while ago, you were referring to the fact of a fire drill. And so what the students have told me is that early this morning, there was a fire drill. So at the end of the day, when the second fire drill alarm went off, people just felt it was another fire drill. So there was only about 40 minutes till the end of the school day, I'm told by the students. And so everybody just started lining up. But they say when they got out of the building, that's when they saw the helicopters circling and the police presence and police converging on the school. And that's when they knew something was wrong. So many of them just started heading out in the direction of the area that I'm telling you. Some said they avoided the fields because they were afraid of being an open target.
So if you guys don't understand what's happening at this very moment, there is a school shooting happening live right now. Where? Coral Springs?
Stoneman Douglas.
Stoneman Douglas.
In Parkland.
In Parkland.
Alright, baby. I'll let you go back to work.
Yeah. So
Can you hear the radio?
I'll let you guys listen to the radio right now.
Suspect in custody at this point. We do not have a count on possible casualties here or any firm identification on who this student is.
Okay, Joan, that is new information. We have not heard that before. Is this from BSO?
Oh, okay, so you got a live one up here.
All I can say is that there is a huge police presence here, and as we've been observing some of the police officers, that is what we have heard, that a suspect is in custody and is being taken to the jail. Again, I don't have a name. This is just what I'm hearing from here on scene. Once again, we still see students and other people continuing to come out. Again, this is probably about a quarter mile away from the school in the back area. And once again, police are still arriving. Coral Springs, we've seen many undercover police officers. Hallandale, BSO, huge police presence at this point.
We've been talking about the different agencies that have been responding to this, Elliot and Joan, and we've heard now now from the Broward County Public Schools that the district's own special investigative unit is on the scene. So Broward County Schools has its own special investigative unit, and they are helping to take part in this investigation. I should also tell you, and I'm so happy to be able to tell you, that the young girl that I have been texting with, that she and her classmates have now been freed from that closet. They are now okay. They are out of the building. So the young girl who was giving me those updates about how scared and hot they are all now out of the building and okay.
Well, that is great news, Rick.
And can I ask you what class level she is in? What class level she is in, that young lady?
She is
she a freshman?
I'm not 100% sure that I'm comfortable getting out that information right now, Joan. I apologize.
Okay. The reason I ask is that because the students who are coming out keep saying, and this is what they all agree on, is that where this was happening was what is called the freshman building. The freshman building. So the people we've been talking to are the upperclassmen, the seniors, and what they're saying is it was happening in a building known as the freshman building.
Joan, do you happen to know if the freshman building is a one-story building or is it the bigger three-story building?
You know, I'm going to ask my photographer who went to school here, is the freshman building a multi-level building? We're not certain at this point.
You know what?
But, again, that seems to be the... Go ahead.
Well, you guys try to figure that out, or we try to figure it out. There is a tweet from President Donald Trump about this, and I'll read it to you. President Trump tweeting, "My prayers and condolences to the families of the victims of the terrible Florida shooting. No child, teacher, or anyone else should ever feel unsafe in an American school." And Rudabeh, this is something that you have brought up, that we've seen so many school shootings this year. It's a very disturbing trend, and now we're seeing another one today in Parkland.
Yeah, and I was actually looking at this study from the National Library of Medicine and National Institutes of Health, and it cited...
Wow. Holy hell.
Yeah, totally.
That's, fuck. On Valentine's Day.
Well, there's the movie Bloody Valentine. It's a movie called Bloody Valentine, and that's what it was. It was a shooting at a school. I wonder if some asshole tried to fucking copycat that shit.
What the hell would you get you so upset? What channel? Dad! Dad, what channel? Dad! What channel?
What's really amazing about all this is I don't know if I would have went outside and started snapping pictures if it wasn't for your check.
That's Dr. Phil! Oh, wait! I got it!
Because it appears that police may have somebody in custody. It's hard to tell here, but they may have somebody in custody. Now, Rick and Rudabeh, the information we've been hearing is that this may be a former student who's responsible for the shooting. That has not been confirmed, but what we have confirmed is that there are multiple victims, and right now it looks very much to me that they may have somebody in custody, or at least they're questioning somebody. It's hard to tell from this vantage point.
Yeah, it's hard to discern what exactly is going on, but it does look like someone in a red shirt or sweatshirt with his or her head down, surrounded by police there, and you can tell that their sense of urgency is definitely not the same as it was. They seem confident that this person is being restrained, if that is indeed the suspect. So this could be good news. We don't want to give any premature reporting yet, but that's what it looks like. It looked like he was in handcuffs from what I just saw.
And this seems to go with information that we got earlier, that the shooter was wearing, well, it was said to be a red shirt. This looks maybe more like a burgundy shirt, but could be very similar. That's the information that we had gotten earlier, that it's a former student wearing a red shirt. Rick?
That's what we've been hearing, and it looks as though this person is cuffed with his hands behind his back as police get ready to put him inside of that police vehicle there. But yes, you could see that this is someone that police are obviously happy to have apprehended. He is now wearing handcuffs, and he will be taken for questioning. Obviously, they'll try to determine exactly what role he played.
All right, well, that's that. Oh my God. Why? Chico.
They've also been told that there were as many as 20 people who were hurt, but the estimates that we're hearing are that the number could be higher than that. And all of this, of course, with the caveat that the early reports, the early figures that we get in stories like this, in situations like this,
that's crazy.
End up being wrong. Sometimes they are below.
All right, I gotta continue working.
If you're wondering why I have no sheets on my bed, something happened this morning that involved my cereal and milk everywhere. Yeah. It's not my big day. It's not anyone's big day right now. What could drive you to the point of just shooting? No. No, honey, no. That's messed up. Tragic. That's scary, bro. I'm scared to go to school. Holy hell. You think it's like on all channels?
What?
No.
Listen, son, ignore everything your mother just said.
Why?
Look, women only think they want us to be ourselves because they don't know how wretched we actually are. What you have to do is think of someone really cool and attractive and be them.
Really? But Anais, is this true? I'm going to have to go with Dad on this one. You're kind of...
To be upperclassmen, but thankfully, hopefully, all of the students are going to be brought to safety very, very soon. As just within the last couple of minutes here, as we just passed the top of the hour, just after 4 o'clock on Valentine's Day, what was to have been an ordinary Wednesday at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, a very nice part of Broward County with well-manicured homes, upper middle-class families living in this community, sending their kids to a public school that has a great reputation, as Ruta Bay was reporting, one of the best in the state of Florida, and now perhaps this reputation is going to be marred from here forward because of a shooting that took place here today, perhaps involving one of that school's former students. Again, not confirmed that that's the case, but those are the reports that perhaps the shooter involved in this is a former student at Stoneman Douglas Elementary. That black police car right there, 9407 is the number. That is the car into which the suspect was placed. We saw him first on the ground, and then we saw him with his hands cuffed behind his back, and just moments ago we saw as police put him into that vehicle. So he is still in there. We were talking earlier about body language, Elliot, and what we can read from it. If anything, it does appear now that this person has been cuffed and put into the police vehicle. You do kind of get the sense that the officers there who are on the scene, that there is not the urgency that they had obviously when this was still an active shooter situation. So that is some good news right there.
Yeah, and maybe we could put that picture up that was sent out by a student inside the school, and this was snapped with a cell phone. That student was inside a classroom, and Rick, this is what you were describing earlier. You were talking to a student who was actually inside a closet. This picture was taken by a student at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School inside a classroom. You can see the legs of the chairs thrown about. You can see, I see a foot in the foreground and maybe another foot there at the left side of the screen. But just imagine the terrible concern and fright, the frightening things are going through the mind of these students as they're inside a classroom, knowing that there has been a shooting, knowing that their fellow students have been injured, and they're being told by police not to leave, to stay inside until they are rescued by the police officer. Just a very, very disturbing situation right now.
Well, you know, Ellie, we were talking about the way that first responders prepare for this kind of situation. Schools also prepare for these types of situations, and obviously these reports are preliminary, but early reports that teachers were able to tell students where to go to be safe, to instruct the students to go into classrooms. I should also tell you that the door to the closet where this young girl who I've been in touch with was staying, that door was locked from the outside. I'm not sure whether that has something to do with the way that the procedures are when there's a situation like this, but that door was locked from the outside. Thankfully, within the last few minutes, that door was opened and people were able to leave, including the young girl. On the phone right now is Jim Gard, who is a teacher at Stoneman Douglas Elementary School. Mr. Gard, are you able to hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Well, thanks very much for this. Could you tell us exactly what happened? Where were you when you first heard or got word that there had been a shooting, and describe the first series of events?
I was in class with my students, and our fire alarm went off. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you fine. Yep.
Okay. I was in class with students with my math class. That fire alarm went off, and we were about to evacuate. And as we did, some of the kids heard the shots go off, and we heard code red. 6 kids managed to get back in the room. I had to close my door, and then about 20 minutes later, we realized it was really real.
So your students were the ones who heard the gunshots. You didn't hear them?
Oh, yeah, I heard them. Yeah, we definitely heard them. Yeah, they were in a building. We just heard them outside. Now I found out they were in a building next to mine.
And then you said that there was a code red. What do you mean by that? Was there some kind of a signal from the school, from the main office, that this was going on?
Yeah, we actually had a fire drill today, earlier, about 9:30 a.m., and then this went off, this fire alarm went off, so I just said, wait, hang in for a second to see if it's kind of, just hang in there for a second just in case. And then when we started to leave, when they said, okay, evacuate the building, then about a half a minute later, we had a code red from our administration that said that no movement, everyone, all doors have to be locked back in the classroom, don't let anybody in, even if they're banging on doors. And so I closed my door, and luckily I have six of my students here, and we're fine.
Are you still inside the building right now, sir?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm in my classroom.
You're in your classroom with 6 students?
Right. Yeah. I've talked to one of their parents. They've all been contacted with their parents.
Can you describe for us what it's like inside that classroom? What are the discussions like between you and your students?
Very calm. Everyone here is really calm. The kids are wonderful. They're, like I said, they've been texting each other, texting their parents, and just very calm. We talked about it, and there's really not much that we know. The lights are off, just in case.
And as far as the procedures that you put in place, closing the door, the code red, not letting anybody in, we have more live pictures of students being led from the building safely. So hopefully that will be the case for you and your students, Mr. Gard, very soon. But is this something that you and your fellow faculty members that you have rehearsed there? This is a drill that you know exactly what to do?
Well, we haven't rehearsed the code red yet. I think they were going to, but we had a couple-hour in-service workshop on this. So no, we're extremely well-versed in all this, and the kids are very well-versed. Everyone knows where to go, what to do. We're very well-trained.
And you know that the word is that law enforcement would like you all to stay where you are until they come and get you. Until they come and get you. Have you seen or heard any sign of law enforcement?
Actually, I haven't seen anything, obviously, because we're in the room, but it just happened. One of my students' fathers is an enforcement officer, and says they're going to come to the rooms, one by one. So we're just waiting.
Well, you sound remarkably calm, and it sounds as though you served your students very, very well in the way that you were able to keep them calm and get them inside. We have some pictures of some students who have been injured, and I'm not sure whether you're aware of this, but we are hearing that this is being treated, sir, as a mass casualty situation, which means that there are a number of students who are injured in all of this. That has just got to be very, very distressing for you.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, like I said, we're staying as calm as possible, and you know the kids here are fine, and I'm fine, and we're just going to wait for the police to come get us. And I want to make sure these guys get out safely. I'm going through emails from other teachers who say I have this many students. I'm trying to find out where my other students are, and I found a few of them. So we're hoping for the best for as many kids as we can.
Jim Gard is a math teacher at Stoneman Douglas, and he is inside the building right now with 6 of his students waiting for law enforcement to come. Mr. Gard, be safe. Thank you very much for the information. We'll be checking back with you. Our Jim DeFede is reporting, Elliot and Rudabeh, that a senior official has confirmed to him that a person believed to be the shooter is in custody. He's also reporting that the shooter used a rifle. No idea of exactly what type of weapon, but now being told that as many as 20 people have been shot. Again, that's Jim DeFede reporting from his sources in law enforcement here in South Florida that the shooter, that a person believed to be the shooter, not confirmed, believed to be the shooter, is in custody right now.
Yeah, and we saw aerial shots earlier of police putting somebody in a police car, a young man in a red shirt. We want to go to Joan Murray, who is on the ground right now. She is with a former student. What are you hearing, Joan?
Well, Elliot, as we've been saying, the students coming out are saying where this was all happening was what's called the freshman building, and I'm with Mark Lewin, who was a graduate of the school, and he knows a lot about that building. So it's a Christian building from a couple of years ago, Mark. What can you tell me about that building?
I know that during the end of the day it gets very crowded, and on either side of the building there's stairwells on either side. I know there's an elevator in the middle, and all the classes are usually packed, crammed. There's always people walking around in the hallways, and just one of the more crowded areas on campus.
One of the questions come up is why that time? It was getting ready for dismissal. Dismissal is at 2:40, and this happened just around the 2 o'clock after that. What do you think of the fact of the timing?
I know that a lot of students don't have a 7th period, so that ends at like 2 o'clock. So where you're saying the time was 2 o'clock. So there's going to be a lot of kids that are walking out towards their bikes, towards their cars, are right in the area. The senior parking lot is right where this went down, and the exit to where you walk to where people go home or to their bike is also in that area. So
I hope they got the guy, and I hope he is put away for the rest of his life. That's fucked up. That's so scary, bro. You're pretty much not safe wherever you go, but you can't live with fear. If you live with fear, you gotta go and you gotta do things. You can't just be scared of something that happened. Yes, that's messed up. That's messed up. I'm gonna end the video here, guys. My thoughts and prayers are with the families and the students that have been injured. I hope they make a recovery, and yeah, bye.